What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of Sideline Thoughts. I'm your host, Gio Galvez. And like you see the title of this episode, the Euros finals and football was saved. I just want to say it. Football was saved. Spain winning this saved us from the terrible memes and tweets and everything. It came home. Football came home. No, dude, it's not going home. Football's not going home. It's going to stay away from home. Spain saves football. And Spain winning didn't really matter about who would win Argentina and Colombia. Didn't matter. Spain saved football, and that was a great day already. So let's get right into it. Looking at it, looking at the years, we see the final score 2-1, and I try to mention my predictions from the previous episode, and I got this one right. Spain 2-1, a win against England. I did thought said at first that there was going to be 2-0, then I stuck to a 2-1. I didn't think Salva would have been the one to score the winning goal. Williams came on board, thought possibly even maybe it was gonna be Morata or truly even Danny Olmo to get the second goal, but it was Salva who got subbed in later in the second half. Cole Palmer just coming in the second half and already being effective off the bat with the ball pretty much passed back, laid off pass back by Bellingham, and Palmer just able to switch it across on Unai Simons. And it was a really good goal, especially for Palmer being able to come in and clinically finish that. It was had enough power, had enough speed, wasn't too crazy, just perfectly switched across. It was a great goal by Palmer, but Spain not giving down, especially seeing England's run throughout the entire tournament, seeing how a good amount of times where they were they were scored on first, and then they were able to counter and come back, whether it was sometime during the regular time, during the last minutes, or even during extra times, where Spain was I mean England was able to come back. But watch on this one, knowing that throughout the tournament, it's like, okay, is England going to be able to capitalize after making it 1-1 and take the momentum and end up winning this, or Spain going to be able to stick through it and continue continue attacking, continue doing what they can to score like they did against Germany and continue against France and throughout pretty much the majority of the tournament, even against Italy, again that they won um barely. It was 1-0. But Spain, I mean, what they've been able to do on most games, not all games, but opening up the score first, getting that first goal. Um, Lamine Yamal getting another assist, his fourth assist of the tournament and his last assist of the tournament. Being effective and find his good friend, his teammate Nico Williams, who's able to finish it straight across Pickford's goal. I think it was a really great play. Yamal being smart and holding the ball when cutting into the box instead of trying to force that through ball, which the center backs were following. I believe it was Fabian, Fabian Reese, or was it Morata that they were following across, and then Nico's wide open. Yamal left the ball for him. It was a great play, but the play of Salval where he scored, I remember watching when seeing it. You saw Cucurella making a run on the left side, and I forgot who, I think it was Fabian who had the ball, and I was thinking in my head, and I was like, opening out wide to Cucurella, but instead passing him as Salva, who one touches it to Cucurella, which in my opinion was too short of a pass, of a one touch pass. Um, Gave 50-50, and literally that pass and how short it was and wasn't great to Cucurella is what allowed Kyle Walker to catch up in centimeters, not even inches, centimeters away from blocking that pass and preventing the second goal. It was that close. Cucurella being able to just hit it at the right time, at the right second, instead of just taking a touch out wide, which probably would have not been able to give a good enough cross where Salva would have been open to finish that. So everything about that moment was just it was obviously there was luck to it, but it was all perfect, all perfection to where Kuka was able to make that pass to Salva back. Salva being able he just not even looking at Pickford because Pickford was shifting across, expecting a cross going completely through the box and possibly another Spanish player on the second post. Salva was able just to reach it and just change the direction which Pickford was going. And it was a great goal to give Spain the lead and the win, especially in the minute 86. Now Spain just need a couple minutes just to hold them back, hold England from even scoring. But look, watching this game, in my opinion, I had slightly higher expectations for Spain in that they could have scored more goals. And we saw they had many more opportunities where they could have scored more goals. They had missed a couple of chances. And the first half it was kind of slow in my opinion for them. They had a lot more possession, but to me, it felt like they didn't play through Yamal and Nico Williams as much as more rather they were just trying to keep possession, try and break through down the middle. And it wasn't like I said, the usual one where they were trying to cross a lot. And they look very slow, like they're willing just to hold the possession and keep England from having any sort of counterattack or anything in that sort. And I think they did very very well in that aspect, but it felt like they weren't attacking as much, and because of that means you're leaving yourself only the second half to get how many goals you need. Whether the situation of the game was changing at the time. So, in my opinion, I thought would have expected a lot more from Spain in that first half to attack a lot more, like we've seen against France, especially the game against France, but Germany as well. Even though those goals came later on, and and throughout the group stages as well. Now for England, I think England played a lot better than what we saw throughout the tournament. I think England came out very high intensity and just ready to play against the Spain team until it actually came to the playing. And we saw, England unable to really hold a lot much possession because it's Spain. Spain is known for holding the ball and possession of the ball. So England had touchdown to that, unable to really create much of attack in the first half or even trying to capitalize on many opportunities. They had some chances, wasn't a lot, especially in that first half. I believe it was Foden who had a shot and he takes a shot to Unai Simon, who was shifting to the right pole, to his first pole, and Foden tries to get him off guard by shooting it one touch, and it wasn't a great shot. It was weak, so allowed Simeone to, you know, get the ball and stop it right there. I think that was the only dangerous attack for England in the first half. Harry Kane again didn't look all that great. Bellingham got the assist, but he didn't look all that great as well. He kind of was just there. I did see that he tried to he went back down on defense quite a little bit, just to help from the position I was playing. Came down to recover the ball quite a bit, but again, some bad passes, wasn't being all effective or nor dangerous during the attacks or creating counters. Aside from the goal, the goal on the counter, which was just countering against Spain in the half field, in the midfield, where Spain was attacking. They lost it, went down the right side of the field, and just a great shot by Cole Palmer. Throughout most of it, I think England overall as a team played slightly better than what I expected, but it's still the level of England and Spain were different in my opinion. I think Spain did stoop down to England's level. Like I said, we've seen quite a bit throughout this tournament, and they stooped down quite a bit, and that's why again it took them a while the first half because they rather play the possession than play like the normal self, like they did throughout the tournament. I think it was a really good game. I really did, and even when England scored when England scored the goal to tie the game, because of Spain not, like I said, not playing completely like how we've seen throughout the rest of the tournament, I thought, dang, maybe England will come back. Maybe England will ride this momentum and score another goal in Spain, and Spain's not being ready, and they need to, try to find their attack. But now Spain was able to hold them back and continue to attack. You just look at the game here. We said 63% shot attempts. Spain has 15. England only had 9. Tags 60-31. Like, I mean, this is just the stats, and I mean, just watching the game, you could see how each team was playing, and the level to the level to the intensity, and just the level of each team playing and how good they play. The keepers didn't have much. Unai Simon, he had 2 saves but 1 goal, while Pickford had the 2 goals against them but then 3 saves. But yes, at the end of the tournament, we see the award. Lamine Yamal gets the award for the best youngest player of the tournament. Obviously, winning the trophy at 17 years old and 17 years and a day old, and establish himself in the world of football and the history of football that he will be and continue to be a star for however much longer he continues to play. He's part of the future of Barcelona, and he will continue to be there if he chooses to stay. Continue to be a big focal point of them playing. But it's great to see Yamal one get his goal in the tournament. It would have sucked if he went throughout the majority of the tournament without a goal. It was a fantastic goal too. It wasn't just like a little tapping type of goal. It was a fantastic goal, and he still comes up with 4 assists, showing that he's unselfish. He's creative. He's being able to show the flow of himself, just what he could do with the ball, being on the right side, and how he could help a team being selfless. And you know, obviously, I don't think any young talent was able to even compete with them in this tournament because of how playing. And so I mean, again, the age has a big part of it because of experience. You have all these other players, all these other young players, the tournament who also play very well, like Gakpo played really great for Netherlands, but the experience and the players, I think to me, Yamal was obviously the better player, in my opinion. Now, player of the tournament was given to Rodrigo, which is in the run for the Ballon d'Or, and the season that he's had at Man City, and even this tournament that he's had. Sometimes stats don't show. Stats show a lot of things. Stats kind of try to paint a picture of how you play, but at the same time, you know, you have the eye test to see how people played, how players played. And Rodrigo had a phenomenal tournament, had a phenomenal campaign in which he was able to lock down the midfield, the central, holding it down defensively. There wasn't too many goals, too many dangerous attacks that came down the middle where he was there. He was able to help out the center backs, able to help out on the sides, even recovering the ball, however it is, even when you're getting countered or you're trying to, or sorry, even getting countered, or even when Spain was trying to counter to lose the ball, Rodrigo was there, able to recover and allowed Fabian and Daniel Mo, or even Pedro when he was playing, to allow them to be able to go up to attack because Rodrigo's there to able to recover the ball and hold that center midfield down. Playing CDM, but when he was there, he's in the central mid, holding it down. And even then, at times, he was able to go up. I mean, he only had 1 goal, but he was able to go up for the attack at times and have the opportunity for himself. He did a great job controlling the ball, opening it wide. Yamal, Nico, if Morata checked in, he had him or whoever down the middle. And he even had a pass back to Danny Carvajal, who also had a very good tournament, in my opinion. I think Danny Carvajal played great in the right back position. Again, like I said, for his age. And to me, I think he's slowing down because, again, his age and all the time he's been playing. He played really well, and you could see how much he was needed when you saw his Navas playing right back, and the number of attacks the French were going through right down Navas was very dangerous. And you need someone like Carvajal right there. And then Cucurella, who also I think played so much better. Chelsea doesn't give him the opportunities enough that he should have. We've seen with Cucurella getting the opportunities that he has, he could be a solid left back. He could do. Obviously, he has his mistakes. Obviously, he was getting beaten a couple of times, like Danny Carvajal. But he had opportunities and he capitalized opportunities, and he even got the game-winning assist to win the trophy. So a lot of these players show that even they're not getting a lot of time in their clubs, they can be those players to get those minutes, to get those playing time, to be effective in some type of way for them. So I think those two players, both Rodrigo, phenomenal, wins player of the tournament. I think deserved. You could always argue for someone else. That's fine, but I think that was very well deserved. No, I mean, just looking back at the run that Spain had, I mean, not losing any game, winning it all throughout. Yes, they had some close calls, especially against Germany, and other times we thought they would have had a tougher competition, like against Italy and against Croatia. I thought their win against Croatia, I thought would have been tougher for them, and against France, and I thought it would have been a bit tougher. I really did. France to pick it up a little bit, getting that first goal, but after that, Spain really had no problem. But I think Germany was the one that scared them the most because of the situation taking out your front three and having to go the rest of the game, going into extra time. How are you going to continue to score? And they found a way. Now, what I think is interesting and about the Spain team and even about this English team, I see a lot of TikToks, a lot of video about English commentators, old England players, and English fans where they believe that they could have won this game, where they believe they had the player depth and the player talent to win this game. And some of them point out that the only reason why Spain won was because they play as a team. They know how to play together. Whether compared 1v1 position by position, England would have the better player talent wise, in their opinion. That because of Spain being able to play together as a team, that's what allowed them to win this tournament. Now, I agree that yes, Spain is a team. It is a team first type of mentality throughout them. They look out for each other. They're selfless. Majority. I mean, who really there was selfish? Truly, like who was just selfish throughout the majority of the tournament? I don't think you could really find one. Truly, like, where you could say the entire tournament he was selfish. I don't think you could find one. And that's the thing. You could see that with the Spaniards. That's how they play. You got to be selfless in order to move forward, to win tournaments. To This is about the team. This is not about you. And even though Yamalu's getting all the views, even though he was getting all the talks, and Nico Williams was getting talks, he was getting transfer rumors saying that Barca wants to get him, or it's not even rumors saying that Barca is in talks of wanting to get him. Fabian playing great in the midfield. People say Danny Olmo getting eyes like that. The Pedri goes out, and it's not just that. That's just within the Spain team. Now imagine, the whole conversation of this was Tony Cruz's last game in soccer where he's retiring, right? And that whole game, Spain versus Germany. You have all these other talks of conversations of other teams and all these other players in Portugal and Italy and England. England with Bellingham getting, Bellingham the Ballon d'Or, being the best player and in England, and that's the talk. Harry Kane being the best goal scorer this season in the Bundesliga, and this and that and everything that goes on with it. Spain still just played as a team. And when you watch against France, who couldn't really play as a team as much as it looked, at times you could see a couple of selfish plays, very selfish plays. And France was one team. England was another team where I think at times they played as a team and at other times they didn't. I think Italy tried, they just couldn't score. They couldn't finish. That's really Italy's job. Um, Netherlands was able to play as a team. Turkey was able to play. I mean, Slovakia is where England could have really lost. And I think England should have lost against Slovakia because they didn't play all that great. They just happened to get the goal. I was there. And it's all these other teams, all these other players. So even through all of this and all the talks that Spain was able to come together and focus on the main thing, and that was the trophy. So, my previous comment in the beginning of the beginning of the tournament when I first started doing this, and I gave my entire prediction of everything, and I thought France and Portugal would make it to the final, which completely wrong. And I'm glad I was wrong about that because Spain truly was the only team that you could argue deserved it. Maybe Germany, you could argue that deserved to win it. England didn't deserve it. France didn't. Portugal didn't deserve it. I mean, Netherlands not really. Italy at all. That not at all. Switzerland took them out. Switzerland didn't deserve it. Um, all these little countries. I mean, Turkey didn't deserve it, but they fought hard. They played crazy. But in the beginning of this, if you guys remember it, I said the reason why I had Spain eventually losing was because I thought of the young talent was just not mature yet, and I was referring to Nico Williams and Yamal specifically because everyone else is older and they have the experience of playing in big time tournament, or at least experience of just playing soccer even longer, playing against older competition. That they were going to be good, but not good enough to win it yet, and that this tournament was going to show that these guys, this team, the Spanish team, had the talent to be so dangerous in the World Cup in 2 years if they matured enough and win the Euros, the following Euros, where they would have been matured and have the team to win it. I'm glad Spain proved me wrong and won it now because not only are their players talented and matured and have great experience and able to play phenomenal with each other now to win it, which they capitalized on, that means they should imagine how ready they're going to be for the World Cup. What kind of team they're going to be going to the World Cup. Because of that, saying it right now, Spain's going to be a minimum. Spain's going to be going to the semifinals of the World Cup. I don't know yet if I will call them going to the finals or winning it, but minimum, if they were to lose before the final, it'd literally be the semifinals. I think Spain would take it that far, especially with this team. I think what you could do is get a better, sorry, not better, get have another right back in there that's younger and able to keep up with the youth that's going into the World Cup, because we don't know what youngster is going to come into the World Cup. We don't know how each player is going to change in their playing style. We don't know like that. But I think with Danny Galahad getting older, you're going to need some youth in that right back position. And then I know Cucurella has that left back, but you're going to have Balde. If Spain chooses to take Balde is able to perform at a high level in Barcelona for the next 2 years and be ready for the Spanish squad in the World Cup. I think Balde, you go there. Maybe you want to move Cucurella to right. I know he plays left back. Not even for Chelsea, he plays there. But if one of them is willing to play on the right, by that time Danny Galahad's tired, doesn't have the legs for it, or whatever the situation is, you can move one of them to the right side. That'd be nice. But not find another right back to just learn and be ready to be at that level, to at that stage. I think you need that. And speaking of the depth of Spain, like I don't think a lot of people really looked at their depth, like their bench, and really thought, oh yeah, they have a really good bench where they could win it, essentially. I mean, Spain even had Dani Olmo coming off the bench because Pedri was starting. Spain had Pedri, and it wasn't until he got hurt. And even then, Gavi was hurt, and Gavi was playing. No, am I a Gavi fan, but my point is the players that are on this that could be on the Spanish team. Yeah, Gavi, who's hurt because um, it was I forgot it was Achilles or ACL where he tore, completely done. Pedri, who gets hurt because of Tony Cruz. So you had Dani Olmo, who's played phenomenal there, who played to maybe even keep a starting spot in the midfield. Merino played so much better than we would have expected, getting the winning goal against Germany. Orisalva, I think Orisalva had, what was it, like, how many years ago, where he had a phenomenal season, and then he's been solid since then, been all right since then. Spain. I think Spain could use a little bit more talent on the bench, coming off the bench, but their talent is still enough to work together, to play together, to do anything. And look, they're the champions, they're the winners. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy, and it's so fun to see what went on. Now, for England, on the other hand, I mean, you look at them and you see Harry Kane looks tired. You see Harry Kane unable to really score all that much other than penalties. And you see Bellingham not performing to a lot of Bellingham. He fits under the conversation of Mbappe, Cristiano Ronaldo, Sam Bellingham, of not being able to perform to the level that is expected of you for this tournament. That's just the truth of it. He wasn't able to, but England could still work on it. That's part of the future. Saka's part of the future. Foden's part of the future. I'm not saying Cole Palmer should be a starter, but I'm just saying, possibly continue being part of the team coming off the bench. But what are you going to do with Harry Kane now? Just a question. He's getting older. The World Cup's in 2 years. Yeah, he could still play in that World Cup. That's fine. But do you want to have another campaign like you did right now in the Euros, where he's not going to be able to score that much, or like he just can't score that much, can't finish, and he's looking tired. He's not being able to fight for a ball as much. He's struggling. Do you want to continue with that offensively? And then a lot of people are talking about Trent Alexander-Arnold not starting this game, that it could have helped a lot better, helped a lot more. Trent Alexander-Arnold, would he have been better? I don't think he's as great as people portray him as to be. Trent Alexander-Arnold, would they say he's the greatest right back in the world? He's not. So, but the question for this is, do you just stick to starting him in the World Cup and the next international tournaments, or do you find another way around things for England? Because some English fans think he should have started, and that's fine if you think that. But what do you do for the future of England? Because this tournament wasn't all that great. You guys barely made it. England barely makes it. So there's so many other teams that should have been there. But of course, it's the way that the everything is set. The winners and losers. Teams that should have won first or second in the groups ended up didn't and not winning first or second or whatever it is, or third for some of them. Things didn't work out, and sometimes you end up with a harder side of the trophy, or you end up with a harder side of the bracket, or you end up with easier side. So, yeah, guys, this episode is actually a little longer than I would have thought. But now we see is Spain is going to play Argentina for the Finalissimo trophy. I mean, Argentina was able to win the last one against Italy. Now, see if Messi could win another one to add, or if young Yamal and his Spanish team is able to take it away from the defending Finalissimo champions. And truly, just how good of a game it will be. Honestly, I think much like Barca fans, or even just Messi fans, or just fans of soccer, truly, just sit back and relax and not really have to, feel like pick a side. Who do you want to win? It's like England or Spain. It's like, well, I don't like England, so I'm gonna go Spain. Or, I don't care for either one, but I don't like this one, so I'm gonna go for that one. I think other than because they're Cristiano Ronaldo fans who would be hate watching, but truly, if you're just a fan, I mean, I think it'll be an awesome game, entertaining game. See how Argentina is going to be able to face up this Spanish team, and how this Spanish team is going to be able to hold up this Argentina team. And yeah, Messi's getting old. He's 37. Dude, he's still Messi. And that's the thing. You still have to guard him, because even if he's not running as fast, even if he's not taking people as quick, dude has a shot. Dude has a foot. So it's like you still gotta play to the hardest against Messi, no matter what his age is. And I think it's gonna be just a great game to watch. It'd be so disappointing if that game is just 0-0, like a 1-0 win at the end. It's like, well, it'd be cool if the game was good. But both both teams had the tags and kept on shooting, hitting crossbars, hitting saves, and all these situations, and it just ends up 1-0, that's cool. But it's a slow game. It's gonna kind of suck. High expectations on that game. Just to be good. But yeah, guys. Well, that's the final of the Euros. Someone pointing out that if it wasn't for Spain, these Euros would have been boring. It got me thinking. Probably would have been. I mean, he said if it wasn't for Spain or Turkey or maybe a few other teams, would have been a boring one. And I see that point. I see if you take out Spain, take out Turkey, the Turkey games were crazy, just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, just trying to survive, essentially in desperation for in those games. I think he has a point that Spain made everyone continue to follow and to continue to go. Spain and Germany. I think Germany was also one of them that maybe throughout the elimination rounds maybe was getting a little boring, but in the group stages the way they played was entertaining to watch, fun to watch. Um, yeah, because Italy wasn't really it. Switzerland ups and downs, Netherlands ups and downs. Um, the Eastern European countries, I mean some of them, Slovakia, like we said, Turkey. Um, I think that's fun. Portugal was all right. France boring. England the most boring one to watch, in my opinion. France and England were the most boring to watch. So the guy had a point, and I think it's very interesting. All right, guys. Well, thanks again for watching. Angel Gabez, the Silent Thoughts. Euros are done. Well, now I forgot one more game. Finalismo. That game. We're still gonna get episode for that one. So thanks again for watching. See you guys next time.